And welcome to the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington. The WIAA Network presents the 2012 WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington plus Schwab Tires 4A Boys Basketball Championships. The Central Valley Bears of Spokane and the Davis Pirates from Yakima. Bob Acamia and Dave Harshman, we've been your basketball buddies all year on Xfinity On Demand. Now we come to you on the WIAA Network to close out the basketball season in a 4A tournament that was a big surprise to everybody because nobody could pick any two teams to get to the finals. But you look closer at Davis and Central Valley, these probably were the best two teams all along.
Very, very consistent, somewhat mirror each other. And the thing is, people over here don't know about them because they don't get a lot of stuff out of Spokane. But what I like is the fact is that, like Central Valley, they just keep coming and coming and coming at you. They don't have any Division I basketball players. I don't care. I love the way they play. They really get after you.
And it's a great weekend in Yakima because it's been about 40 years since Davis won a state championship in any sport. So this could be a big time. And Davis certainly the hot team right now. They won an overtime thriller last night of the semis, and they've got a lot of guys who can score. But their go-to guy, a really quick guard who plays like a small forward, and that is, of course, Devon Luckett, the senior.
Yeah, Devon Luckett, last night, he was 3 for 8 from the line until what I call winning time. He steps up and hits 2. It goes into overtime, and they win the game. He's a guy that you better keep off the boards. When the ball's shot, you got to find him.
Now, Central Valley, you look at them individually, you don't see any great standout individuals, but boy, what a great team working together. And they've got two bigs in the middle that take away a lot of space under the basket, but also can drift outside and score. And the big factor there is Gavin DeArmond, football player. He's the quarterback of the football team.
Well, I'll tell you what, he is a big, strong kid. And what I like about him is, again, defensively, rebounding, but he will make you defend him in the post, and he will play over people bigger than he is.
And DeArmond looking forward to a chance to play one last time with his Central Valley teammates. These teams have been here before. They know what it takes to win in the state tournament. Can they win the big one? We're going to find out right now as the starting lineups being introduced out on the floor. You see the Central Valley Bears, who will be the home team. Let's meet the lineups first for the visiting AC Davis Pirates. Cooper Cup, Raymond Navarro, and David Trimble. A lot of football players on this team when you throw in Trimble and Chris Chapman, who's playing a little bit off the bench. Levante Allen, the big man, at 6'4". And the coach of the Pirates, a guy who's been around Central Washington for a long time, is Eli Juarez in his 7th year at Davis. But he goes way back when you talk about Wenatchee High School, long stretch there. And, of course, Wapato, that's kind of home base for him.
Yeah, got a lot of experience, and he's really done a nice job of getting his guys to play to their potential every night out.
The Central Valley Bears, another balanced lineup. Adam Chamberlain, Austin Rico, Garrett Sawyer, the basketball junkie. They say he's had a basketball in his hand since he was 5 years old. And there's the two big guys, DeArmond and Brommer. We talked about DeArmond. Anthony Brommer. DeArmond was the quarterback, Brommer the tight end of that football team. But again, they don't just play big and strong underneath.
Well, no, and they've got a good, solid little point guard. I don't think either one of these teams are going to beat themselves. But, you know, if I was going to go out on the limb and say who you're going to pick, I think Central Valley, for some reason, you know, you just kind of get a feel. I think they may come out on top, but it's going to be a war.
Rick Sloan is the coach of Central Valley. In his 16th year, he had his team in the finals in 2006. However, they had to play the best Franklin team probably ever.
Yeah,
that year. So
Central Valley, I go back, I graduated in 1965 from Pullman. Central Valley was coached by a guy named Ray Thacker, who was a legendary coach. His son Jimmy played for him. And then Davis High School, I happened to play college basketball with the two guys that in 1965 led Davis to an undefeated 26-0 season. That'd be Lenny Allen and Ted Wireman. So there is a lot of tradition in both schools in basketball.
The referee for Washington's 4A final, Kevin Erickson, Jeremy Matthews, Scott Federley will be blowing the whistles, and we're ready to play
one Saturday night, someone went through town flashing tires.
Championship.
Sunday morning, one of Andy Spencer's.
Davis, the visitors, in the black and orange. Central Valley in the white, trimmed in blue. Davis will move right to left as we see it in the first half. You go back through the first 2 days of his tournament, you think, well, Davis had to work harder, but they look like they're working harder by the way they play. Central Valley may be a little more under control, but they like to push it as well, and you see Brommer attack the hoop early.
Well, they got the shot they wanted. It's not, you know, the one thing you're playing for the state championship, probably a little nerves early on both sides. Both teams employ a very tough man-to-man defense.
Navarro, the ball handler for Davis. I know this is a guy you think has really stood out. He doesn't have a ton of numbers in the tournament. And he sets up Luckett for the first two.
You know, he gets the guys the ball where they need it and when they need it.
Luckett averaged 12 points a game during the regular season. Has really turned it on here in the final 8. 19 and 23 points. And there's Davis's quickness. This time a solo run to the hoop. Doesn't fall for Trimble. And you see the Bears again. They will get into early offense. They'll get in the front court. They'll take an early look if they haven't. There's lengthy possession so far. A little hanger from Adam Chamberlain. The offensive rebound. Another outside shot. Rico can't make it fall.
You can't say they haven't had some good lucks. You know, as we talked about many times, sometimes you're playing in a much bigger building as the Dome. Your depth perception isn't as good, so you don't shoot the ball nearly as well.
Davis with the ball. 2 minutes in. Navarro. Davis on the perimeter. For Cup. Cooper Cup, the quarterback. Nice alliteration. Headed for Eastern Washington. Going to play for their quarterback coach, Bo Baldwin. Take away. Good pressure on the defense, saved inbounds. But that's kind of a little message sender, isn't it, by Rico playing out on the perimeter?
Yeah, he can play inside, he can play outside. I was going to say Cooper Cup's father played at PLU and was an excellent quarterback there.
There's the pressure and a late shot on the shot clock, and they do not get it away, so that's a turnover. And the Bears get it back. So the Bears work hard on defense and force the shot clock violation. You see the bigs coming out to play on the perimeter for Central Valley. DeArmond. Rico driving in the key. No fear for the little man. If a layup is good for Chamberlain. They call him 6'1". That's pretty generous.
Well, surprising because Davis doesn't give up a lot of lay-ins. They contest every shot generally.
Deep penetration, and there's the defense. DeArmond. You know, there were a lot of shots he's altered in this tournament.
Yeah, he's always around the ball.
And he starts long distance at the other end. Bronner fights the board. They don't get it. And Allen starts it the other way for Davis. Davis has had a little trouble getting into a half court.
Yeah, but both teams are doing a decent job of moving the ball and looking and not really forcing a lot of things in the half court. I think the one thing Davis maybe does better, they're probably better offensively to go one-on-one, although they draw the charge right there.
It's an early offensive foul against Luckett. Luckett almost got thrown out of the game in the semis in the first minute. Got involved in a little tangle. Double technical was called, but he went right back in the face.
Well, and the thing is, you know, officials don't want to throw anybody out
no,
unless it's something really
early.
bad, particularly in the tournament, because you lose a game, now you never get to play again.
And that was Bellarmine's best defender, David Smith, and they were talking to each other all night. But that was kind of a scary moment. You think you're going to lose your top scorer, but the officials did the right thing and kept him in.
I think right now, a little too much dribble penetration by CV, because every time they do, Davis is back in the lane, helping out, knocking the ball loose.
Now, these are two teams that are willing to make changes, play a different way. As a coach, though, can you outthink yourself trying to either be unpredictable or only play to your strength, even if it doesn't work?
Well, I think you got to do what you do best, you know. And if you're an inside-outside team or you're a three-point shooting team, a lot of teams live by it and die by it, and that's just the way it is. So, you got to live with it if you're the coach.
Nice floater by Rico. And CV takes the early lead. So low scoring early, 4-2 midway in the first quarter. There's the answer at the other end. It'll be low scoring for long with Navarro.
Well, we saw that yesterday where he goes to the corner and they run that high pick and roll. And when you come to help, they kick it to him and he knocks it down.
10 points a game for Navarro. Rico getting some space at the other end, and he's taking that shot.
Yeah, Stevie's had some good looks. They've just been a little short. Could be the legs are a little weary.
That was a 3 at the other end. Tip no good. Pirates wanted a foul there.
Not so sure they shouldn't have had one.
Yeah, Sawyer stepped out and leveled the man out. The other end, we have contact, and another offensive foul. Go the other way against Chamberlain.
You know, the one thing that I really like about Navarro, he's a slightly built little kid, but he goes by the old adage, you know, when you're young, when you're small, you got to give your body up. And there he is right there for the team. Take the charge.
Put his shoulder into it there. First sub of the game coming in for Central Valley. Bo Bias, 6'6" sophomore, in for a little bit of size. Both these teams will use their bench. Davis could play just about everybody on their bench. They've used all kinds of combinations this year.
The one thing is Davis has, not that both teams don't have a lot of seniors, but they are a senior starting lineup, whereas CV has, you know, Chamberlain's a sophomore, the point guard.
Eight seniors on Davis. There's looking at Davis crowd from Yakima. It's kind of neat to hear. We were telling us yesterday that I said, so what do they do at Eisenhower? And they said, you know, when any Yakima team gets this far, we put on the Eisenhower colors, and we know there's some Ike fans here,
sure,
giving us some love, and I'm sure a lot of people down in the valley watching and hopefully enjoying the 2A 1A tournament, which is finishing up at the Sun Dome.
Well, I've seen almost probably 95% of the games in this tournament. There have been some excellent games, and the tournament committee is to be congratulated. They've done a great job. Great crowds last night.
Of course, Central Valley with boys and girls playing for championships. A few more people came over the hill today. Another turnover for Central Valley, so already a little uncharacteristic for them, but early game pressure. Little whoop-de-doo by Trimble. Right back to the other end and losing control of the ball. Garmin out of bounds.
Good look up the floor, but there again, see, the one thing about Davis, they may be out of position, but they're so quick they can recover, and they knock the ball off Darman's leg that time.
You see that tape on DeArmond's shoulder. He was injured in the football season. He had both a shoulder and a knee injury. He got pretty banged up by the end of the year. And I asked him if, you know, what the tape, what the bandage was still for, and he said there might be something special underneath it that's going to get revealed after the game. So I don't know if there's any championship tattoos in the works, or we may never know. Well, if the Bears win, we're going to drag them over here and make them tell us. Not the shot you want at the end of the shot clock.
Not Allen taking it anyway. I don't know what a lot of people, what their rules are, and I think it's an interesting concept, but when the shot clock gets down under a certain number, maybe it's 10 seconds, maybe it's 8 seconds, you need to go to something, whether it's a pick and roll or, you know, a 1-4 low or whatever it is. But generally, if you do something that attacks the basket, now you make the defense have to work that much harder.
DeArmond gets a break. Danny Dimbrian, 6'1" guard. And Central Valley gets the foul call. Won't be a shooter, though. But again, so you're right, Central Valley is really pressing to get the ball into the paint.
They've, right then, you know, Sawyer had a lane to the basket, and why he chose to throw it off, drop it off is beyond me. You gotta go strong and try to finish.
Rico comes back in. First break for Chamberlain. And now off the bench for Davis, Nikhil Lazat, a freshman in the game.
Nice out of bounds play. Yeah, I'm not one who's big at playing man-to-man out of bounds, and that's why right there. Too many picks, too many things. Unless you're switching everything, you get caught little to big. You know, if you zone the baseline out of bounds and try to make him throw the ball out, then you can match up and do some different things.
So Lazat handling the basketball. And Luckham will get to the free throw line. Well, this is always an adventure for Davis when their leading scorer shoots free throws. Luckett in the tournament is 5 for 15 at the stripe.
Well, and like I said, you know, he was 3 for 8 until he made those 2 last night. But he went to the Adventuresome Shooting Academy for free throws.
Well, now you always like to talk about shooting for the back of the rim, and it's like he's saving it up. He's trying to
I like
float it over the
to
top.
look right at the middle of the basket, because if you aim at the middle, then you've got some 4.5 inches all the way around. A lot of people say aim at the front rim. I always ask them, what do you want to hit the front rim? Of course not.
It looks like he's trying to put the spin on it so bad that he's not getting enough behind it.
Well, and the other thing is, late in the game, it's all about your legs. You got to use your legs.
But you know what? He made them both, so.
Yeah.
We shouldn't worry about that.
Well, it's a concentration factor, I really believe. Mechanics are really important, but the concentration factor, you got to step up there and knock it down. Can't worry about who's watching or who's not watching.
Final minute of the first quarter. 1-point game. Bears almost turn it over again. Well, a 3 doesn't go, and there's Luckett strong for the board.
Well, they've got numbers.
Trimble runs the floor. Little man open to the corner, bang with the 3. That is Lizotte.
And a freshman, Bob, a true freshman. Of course, you don't get to redshirt in high school.
Well, he's a guy they saw coming, and all they were concerned about was his confidence. And when they've given him chances, he's made big shots.
Well, you know, he knew his role. He ran to the spot. They got it to him. He knocked it down. He did his job.
Yeah, with all those seniors, the Pirates have 2 freshmen that play a role. Lizotte more so, but you'll also see Max Jones. And then as the quarter ends, we also have a shot clock violation. So Davis getting it done at both ends of the court opens up their biggest lead of the game. End of 1 at the WIAA 4A Boys Basketball Championship. AC Davis 10, Central Valley of Spokane 6. You are watching the WIAA Network.
One Saturday night, someone went through town flashing tires. Sunday morning, one of Andy Spencer's customers at Les Schwab went to Andy's house to see if he could help.
You got it.
Andy got in his truck and drove up and down the streets, helping anyone who needed it. He worked at it pretty hard most of the day.
That's all of them.
Andy didn't tell anybody no. He really went above and beyond his duties as a manager and a neighbor. I'm James Hamilton, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
One Saturday night.
And Dave Harshman with you from the Tacoma Dome. 10-6 is our score, and Davis doesn't seem to let anything bother him. They played this scrambling overtime game last night, and they've come out and played very under control.
Well, if you know anything about Yakima, a lot of people say, well, Davis is on the wrong side of the tracks, you know. So they kind of come with that little chip in their shoulder, I believe, and not bad. They're really focused, and they just go out and play and do the things that they can do. And that was a great example where they had the run out and the little freshman spotted up where he's supposed to, and they got him the ball, and he did his job.
There you go. That was Lizotte off the bench. So for the first quarter, Davis just 3 of 10 from the field, but they've got 6 rebounds. Central Valley also 3 out of 10. They have 8 rebounds, but 5 turnovers for CV. They get it quickly to the other end of the floor, and there's DeArmond to make it 10-8.
Now, there's a freshman mistake because Lizotte did not rotate back when the other guard went to the basket, and CV got a run out.
Both these teams with 22 wins. Drive to the hoop, and Cup is detained, and will get to the line.
And then Lizotte comes back and makes a great pass on the pick and roll. Found Cup. There's a fine line, Bob, that I always wonder if kids really understand, is taking that open shot or taking the one bounce and going to the basket or going to the defense if they are there. You know, the thing you want to do a lot of times is you want to catch the ball and look at the basket and go up strong without putting it on the floor, because every time you dribble it, it allows the defense to get there.
Cup now 5 of 7 in the tournament at the line. Now the lead is back to 4. Well, and even, I got to say, even with the turnovers, it almost seems like Central Valley just willing to keep attacking, and it pays off eventually.
Well, nice back door and great finish that time. You know what's interesting too? We're sitting across from the benches, and I'm looking at both coaches. None of them are up yelling or anything. They're just sitting there calmly, coaching the game, and I for one appreciate that. A coach who can coach, you know, and you get up once in a while to tell your team something, but you know, it's about the kids. It's not about you, and they do a great job of that.
Anthony Brummer with the rejection. A little mismatch there for Davis, but they get the ball back. 17 on the shot clock.
And then I just said that, and Rick Sloan stood up and said something to the official, which is what you got to do. You got to protect your kids.
Well, he's been doing this long enough. He knows the drill. Loose ball was grabbed away by Trimble. Like it was off balance. Ball into the backcourt. I think it might have been touched on the way back. Certainly our official was looking right at it.
The reason that wasn't over and back is you got to have both feet. There's only one.
Floater by Carlos Vijaro, who just came in.
Vijaro has had 2 or 3 shots like that, little floaters where he's kind of bricked all of them. If you just pull up and shoot a little jump shot on bounce, it's really going to help you.
Vijaro is their big clutch free throw shooter they like to have in at the end of games. He has that rebound. Like, he had to shoot free throws in the semifinal when Luckett got hurt.
Right.
A pretty critical point of the game. It's the second time this year Villaros had to come in and shoot free throws for somebody who was injured. And he sunk them. And obviously with Luckett's numbers at the line, they probably didn't mind having a backup. Luckett takes a hit to the floor there. That was Nimri putting a body into him. Now everybody's on the floor. Foul goes against Davis. Rico working hard after that on the floor for Central Valley.
You know, they list Lazzotti at 5'9". Very generous, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't stood next to him, but I really like the fact he's got great court vision, and really he's made 2 or 3 very good passes.
Now that's you know, Eli Juarez said he was going to be on the varsity because we knew he was good, but it was the confidence that he plays with.
Right.
That's kept him in the lineup and plays a role in the rotation. A 2-point game, 5.5 remaining before intermission. I gotta say, our officiating crew's done a good job. There's been a lot of contact, but it's both teams just playing strong, and we've kind of gone up and down. Now we get the little grab from behind. That'll go against Cup.
You know, a little weave. CV does that little weave, and then whoever gets it, if they can get a half a step on their opponent, they'll put their shoulder down and try to go to the basket and make you stop them, and that they draw a lot of fouls that way.
Team fouls now 4 for Davis, 3 for CV. Now here's Cup going after the ball and gets 2 quick ones. Now he's not happy about that, but
well, you know, you can't play
put that much body on the ball.
You know?
Yeah,
it would have been a good hit if he was like a DB.
It's the old, I'm going for the ball. You can't go through the man.
Yeah. That guy in the white jersey there that you just knocked down, that's called a foul.
It's not the Jack Tatum school of ball defense. For the kids out there, do we have to explain who Jack Tatum was?
Probably.
Probably. Ronnie Lott even. Pump. Yarman gets in there. Baseline, no. Bronner fights for the board. Yarman comes up with it, kicks it out. There's the 3. That is Dustin Dack. Pretty good defender. Now starting to score the ball a little bit.
Big 3. But see, the thing is, he was ready to shoot the ball when he caught it. Had his feet set.
And you saw DeArmond alternate between being shooter, rebounder, and passer.
I'm going to say this again. When somebody shoots the ball, the other guard has got to rotate back, and that's 2 at least, maybe 3 times that Davis has not rotated anybody back, and CV's got to run out. And that's 6 points you give it up, and you're down 3 right now.
So if you think CV is a ball control team, well, there's an example. They'll fool you and get it down court.
Well, you know, they don't. I don't think they would advertise themselves as being a running team, but they will take advantage of the situation and run. And that's the thing, you know. I say you need to, what I call run with a purpose. You need to know what you're going to do when you get the ball, whether it's off a turnover or a missed basket or even a made basket. You know, you run what they call a blitz and really push that ball off the floor.
Now the Davis crowd on its feet is Lazat comes up. Landed on his hip pretty hard, so that's going to be more bruised than anything. There's a big three and another bump, and that'll be a 4-point opportunity.
I'm looking right at the play, Bob, and I can't. The thing that just boggles my mind, the little guy looked around and goes, well, nobody's coming to the ball, I'm going to shoot it. That was kind of the look on his face, and he drills a three from about 2 feet behind the line and draws the foul. Look at it right here. Look at it. Oh, the defender went back behind and nobody stepped up to him.
So Navarro goes to the line to complete the 4-point play and does.
And there's another thing I should probably address, the fact when they come to play on the pick and roll, how are you going to play it? Particularly if the guy's a shooter. Do you push him over? Do you go behind? Do you trail? Do you hedge? What do you do?
That's a bad foul on Sawyer. You don't need to defend the three that much early in the game.
No, well, both of these teams are big enough or about the same size that you could switch everything too if you wanted to, and it wouldn't bother you.
On the corner, free look for CV, doesn't go. Another rebound for DeArmond. On the spin, Rico, tip no. Davis comes up with it.
They've done a great job, although a bad pass there for the turnover.
And look who's there, DeArmond all the way with a kiss.
And he finished, but what I was just going to say, CV has many times gotten to the basket but not finished the play, and that just kills you. You got to finish.
Three minutes left, first half. Executive Director of the WIAA, Mike Colbrys, will be stopping by for a visit. Get a look at some of the first half highlights and numbers. Get ready to crown our first champion of the weekend. Little baseline, that little set shot jumper for Trimble.
Yeah, but all set up by Navarro's penetration. He had penetrated the time before, and I thought there was some contact, wasn't called. They got the scrap for the rebound, got it, kept it alive.
Rico. Rainbow, a little short.
Yeah, straight on, but yeah, more than a little short, very short.
CV 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Davis now 3 of 7 with that miss.
Shoot the ball from the long range. The rebound's going to come out long. You've got to. We're calling traveling.
Yeah, Viaro lost his
balance. You got to expect that long rebound coming off.
Yeah. Bias back on. There you get a look at Eli Sanchez. And then over at the other bench, Rick Sloan. A couple guys have been doing this for a while.
Yes, they have. I don't want to age myself, but I remember when Eli played in high school.
Eli was a good player.
He was a very good player.
Kind of a
point guard, more of a ball handler, passer than a shooter, but he could score.
Worked. I like to call it both ends of the valley, between Wenatchee and Yakima over the years. Had a brief stop in Dayton, a little further east.
That's 2 air balls in a row now for CV.
CV 8 of 22 from the field. Davis not much better, 5 of 22.
Well, you know what? It's becoming more and more apparent. Yesterday for the Central Valley girls, they shot 23%, but they had 22 more attempts than their opponent. And usually the team that takes the most shots got a chance to win it.
Now right now they're dead even. Timeout taken by Davis, and getting down to the final couple of possessions of the half, I think Eli Suarez wants to maybe sharpen the pencil a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's been happy with the last 2 or 3 possessions down the floor. The thing that you want to do, particularly if you're the point guard, is you want to get your team into something where you're at least going to get a good shot every time down. You can't wait till the shot clock runs down and then try to hopefully get a good look at the basket. So when you come down, set it up, run something, score.
Okay, trivia time as we take a look at the CV band from Spokane. Let's go back over to the Davis side here. How many of you not from Yakima know who AC Davis was, and what does the AC stand for?
Well, I know it's not air conditioning.
No,
although
back in the day, it would have been welcome.
Well, you told me, so I shouldn't answer because you told me.
Just think about that. And then for bonus points, what was the original name of the school?
Well, I was close on that.
Yeah. The world awaits. All right, they don't get a great shot out of that. Now it was a short possession after the inbound. Chamberlain pushes it forward. The baseline, lots of time and nothing but net for Dak.
Yeah, but there again, they kick the ball to the open man who's ready, got his feet set, and just goes up and knocks it down. When you're ready to shoot the ball, it makes it a lot easier.
Dak's got a couple of baskets off the bench. Piharo cannot connect. 40 seconds now. A 1-point game. And not surprising in the state championship, a little lower scoring early. A little bit of fatigue. You don't see it visibly, but that's why some of those shots don't go. Traveling the call.
Boy, that kills you right there when you've got an open court situation. You've got a 50% greater chance to score, and then when you travel, you don't even get a chance to score. You know, I think that I think Chamberlain, little guard for CV, has done a nice job, and yet he's gotten to the basket 2 or 3 times and not been able to finish.
Ten seconds, shot clock is off. Luckett blocks the shot, but traveling first. Turnover number 7 for Central Valley, and Davis not much better. They've got 6. Final seconds from the corner, no. So a grinding first half of basketball. The team from Spokane leads the team from Yakima by just 1. Halftime at the Tacoma Dome, the 4A boys final of the WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington Les Schwab Tires Boys Basketball Championship. Central Valley 19, Davis 18. We're back with Mike Colbury in a moment.
You want him here?
We were driving from Portland to California for a bike race when a tire went flat. We limped into Les Schwab, but it was closed for the night. Hoping for some good Les Schwab mojo, we began changing it ourselves. Just then, John appeared and reopened the store. He quickly assessed that all the tires were about to go and got us a new set so we could make the race. Super John deserves a medal for rescuing our road trip. I'm Kim Brown, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
We were driving from Portland to California for a bike race when a tire...
Halftime of boys 4A championship game, 19-18, with Central Valley leading AC Davis. Baba came in back with you, along with the executive director of the WIA, Mike Colbury. Great to have you in the big house.
Well,
for the last day. I know you like that, being here for trophies.
Well, I tell you what, I've got a great board, and this is one of the rewards that they get, is being here and watching these ball games and handing out those trophies along with the Les Schwab and Dairy Farmers folks. So it's just a great night, Bob, and we've got 2 other great nights going around the state in Yakima and Spokane as well.
I know this is the time of year you really like to give thanks to the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires of what they do all year long, because it's not just this championship, it's every one of our state championships they're involved
every
in.
one of our state events, because they're also involved with music and speech and drama and debate, and it's just great to have them. It's really kind of been a really great family, kind of a seamless relationship between all of the organizations.
Talk about this championship time of year. We get to have the giant basketball festival all on one weekend, and I know we're sitting here watching what's going on in Yakima right now. In fact, Linden's having a great first half against White River, and to have this all played at once, I mean, this is a time where so much of the state is paying attention to this sport. It's our own March Madness before the big guys do it.
Well, and obviously, this community part of it, you know, Bob, as you know, it is all about community. It's about all these people coming together. Sometimes these folks only see each other once a year, and while each site, Spokane, Yakima, and Tacoma, has kind of a flavor, a local flavor, they just have a really unique, I call it a reunion. It's a community reunion. It's a family reunion. It's a team reunion. It's great.
And I got to say, we were over in Spokane on Thursday night, watched the first night of the B tournament, and the recognition of everybody and the great history and the love people have for the Bees. I mean, everybody remembers the old days of the barn on Boone.
And they just really, like I said, every tournament had its own flavor, but there is something unique about that 1B, 2B tournament and that great history.
And, of course, we're sitting right here visiting with you on the WIAA Network, new venture between Play on Sports and the WIAA. And we've been doing championships all season long, going back to cross country and soccer. And this weekend is a great opportunity to show what we do with this, because here we have all of today's state championship games are available on the web for viewing.
And we know that all over the state, well, all over the country, there are people who are having gatherings at their homes or other places watching this on a television screen. We got just phenomenal feedback, Bob, from the draws the other day, being live from our office, and what you folks did to show that. And with the fall and all the activities that we were able to show in the fall, and of course with wrestling, the relationship is really good for kids, because a lot more kids from a lot more venues get an opportunity to showcase themselves.
And it's fun because there's obviously a lot of great stories to show. And from, Maddie Myers winning her 4 championships in cross country. We had our 4-peat wrestler. Wonderful story of the girl from Battleground who's the rugby playing wrestler and judo champion. I mean, you don't get a chance to tell those stories much, but they're great examples of the variety of high school sports.
And that's the important part of it. We're addressing that heart and soul of student participants. Right now we're doing an award out here for our academic state champions. It's all about recognizing the kids for all their great efforts in the classroom, on the court, and on the field.
Well, it's been a great start to the day. The 4A's putting on a big show. It's hard to pick one. I know you never want to be in that position, but you got to like the way these two teams go at it.
Oh, this is a phenomenal ball game. I mean, they're getting up and down the court, and great sportsmanship. I don't know if you're watching that. They're helping each other up off the floor. They're making sure one young man went down for a little while, and a team from the other teammate came over and made sure he was okay. And I mean, it's really what it's all about.
And then somebody's going to end a 40-year drought or so of championships tonight. So one school is going to be really happy to take home that trophy.
Well, and they both should be very proud for being here. It's a great event.
Well, Mike, I know you got to hand out the hardware. We'll catch you a little later on. We'll be here all night, all 4 championship games. This is the boss, Mike Colbreeze, our executive director of the WIAA. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it.
When we return, Harsh will be back. We'll have some first-half highlights, a look at the numbers, and figure out who's going to create a little separation in the second half. One-pointer between Central Valley and Davis on the WIAA Network.
Hi, we're Chris
and Anna Groneveld, local dairy farmers from Monroe, Washington.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington, along with Les Schwab Tires, are proud co-title sponsors of the WIAA High School State Championships.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association supports high school programs and activities that keep our kids growing in mind and body.
Today's high school students will be some of tomorrow's community leaders, and we feel it is important to do our part in helping foster an appreciation of community, responsibility, teamwork, and sportsmanship in today's youth.
The WIAA helps provide those opportunities through athletic, artistic, and academic competition.
Please join the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires in supporting young people in your community by attending your local high school state championships.
For a complete list of events and activities in your area, visit WIAA.com.
The score at halftime, Central Valley leading Davis on the WIAA Network. And again, you can be watching other state championship games right now in Spokane. Colfax is leading Northwest Christian 23-16 in the second quarter. That's a little bit of a surprise. Northwest Christian of Colbert, and Linden is romping as the second half begins in the final of the 2A Boys Championship. It's that kind of day, isn't it?
Well, this week, I think, has been the best 3 days of basketball in terms of competition, in terms of games that have not been blowouts, and everybody's kind of been right there, whether it's been a consolation game or championship bracket games, and I really enjoy that. But I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the stats, and somebody's got to start shooting the ball for the.
Well, there are no stats actually
for AC. Well, 20%. And 30% from 3, but they're 5-5 from the line. But look at that. Central Valley did not shoot a free throw. and as many times they go to the basket.
Well, that's because look how many three-point shots. Of course, Davis has taken their share too. And the turnovers, really, it's kind of a wash because it's hurt both teams.
Yeah.
They've had opportunities. CV, I think, and you said this earlier, I think CV's had more quality looks at the basket. They just haven't converted those, so you got to think some of that's going to start falling.
Well, you would hope so. That's I hate to say it, but that's a concentration factor. Maybe because this state championship game, haven't been here before. Although, what is this? CV has won 19 in a row, I believe. Is that
that's pretty good,
correct?
Yeah.
And so they've done it. And I think both teams, 22-3, 22-2, crying out loud. I mean, they both had unbelievable seasons.
All right, second half when we come back. Davis, Central Valley, someone's taken home the 4A championship trophy for the boys at the WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington, Les Schwab Tires 4A basketball championships. You're watching the WIAA Network.
My family and I were enjoying a big vacation in Tahoe. After a great day on the mountain, our car wouldn't start. I got a jump, but it kept dying. Everyone in town said, "Go to Les Schwab." When I pulled up, George delivered. He quickly tested the battery and confirmed it was a goner. While he installed a new one, I finally got my first relaxation of the vacation. It's nice to be treated like a neighbor so far from home. I'm Clay Gilman, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Central Valley huddle as they get ready to take the floor for the second half. Bears in the white and blue. Remember, their girls are coming up. Our very next game. We'll be live with you 5 o'clock Pacific time as the Central Valley girls seek the 4A championship. Right now, the boys trying to settle things. Eli Suarez. Eli's very, for as active as his team is, he's very composed.
He's very low key, very calm.
He's coached a few games.
Well, I think he probably subscribes to the fact that, hey, if I get excited, maybe the guys get excited, we get a little out of control. And so, he's coaching a bunch of very good athletes who are good, tough kids and play strong basketball and well together.
Top individual scores, Navarro 7 for Davis. He has 2 3-pointers, 6 for DeArmond. He's 3 for 5. Rico's had a lot of those good looks, but he's 1 of 7, 0 of 3 from beyond the arc, although he's taken shots that you don't look at him and say, no, no, no.
No, you got to take shot selection is a huge criteria, though.
But there's the turnover. CV gives it right back. Penetration and then a fallback. Doesn't go for Trimble. Follow-up, good. That's Navarro. He's been the right man at the right time.
Keeping him in the game.
We've got the Davis fans sitting directly behind us, so when anything good happens, you'll know. No, great group made the trip, and mentioned it's been a long time since Davis won a state championship in any sport. Now, big basket early for the Bears.
Big tip in after maybe an ill-advised shot, I would say, under duress under the basket.
Have a Sawyer. Now, defensively, you like what both teams are doing?
Well, I think they're both doing an excellent job. Now, there's a great example right there of a flash. Low post to high post flashed for Luckett. Caught the ball, turned, and just knocked it down from about 12.
Luckett, 6 points, 2 of 7 from the field. And Navarro trying to take a charge.
Nobody in real foul trouble. Cup had 2 in the first half, and Chamberlain had 2. As you see the finish there. Great pass. Great pass by Darman.
Open space, that doesn't fall, but the Allen strong underneath. Didn't quite finish. That's where you want him to be. He took that three-pointer on the tip out in the first half at the end of the shot clock. Now at the other end, there's DeArmond strong, but he's called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, jump stop, goes up straight. You don't go into the defender, you're fine. He made a great pass, though, the last play down to Bromer, and Bromer just blew the lane. That's the kinds of things that bother you. He's coming right in your living room right there.
And, of course, he plays one way.
All out.
High speed, body into it. None of these guys really have announced their basketball future yet. And certainly you look at Bromer and DeArmond, and they've got that look of Northwest Conference players.
Nice look there by Cup to drop the ball off. Trimble finishes. Of course, you talked about Trimble being a football player. And I would imagine Cup's a football player, too, with his father being a former
Cup's headed
quarterback.
to Eastern. See if he's the next Bo Baldwin. Three minutes into the second half. Crazy shot, another offensive foul. That's about the 5th offensive foul of the game we've had called.
Here's a rule of thumb that I always teach kids. If you beat your defender on the ball, you must be willing to stop and go straight up and shoot a little one off the glass, because as the higher level you go, as it's just proven the last 2 times, here you go, watch this. He'll beat his man, but see, then you got to pull up and shoot the little shot because you try to go all the way with the extra dribble, and there's somebody there. Always. That's a no-brainer.
Now, I didn't quite see how Chamberlain got folded up in that, because the defender was Bromer.
Right, but he was behind him, and I think he fell on his leg.
So Chamberlain limps off. He's trying to walk it off. That might be a bruise as much as anything.
Well, Doc back in the game, and he hit a couple shots, one big 3.
Yeah, Dax had a couple of big baskets. You know, in a game like this, you come off the bench and hit 2 hoops. You're a hero.
No help that time at all. It just pass the ball to the wing, pass back to the point, back pick, go off the screen, top of the key to the basket for an easy one.
Sawyer has all of CV's points in the second half. Never chance for Davis. They've been on the offensive boards.
No cutout, though, by CV. You know, what they're doing to the ball shot, they're just turning and trying to follow the flight of the ball and going to it instead of getting the body on the man first. That time, Luckett missed the shot, and the reason is they made him take the shot a little further out on the turn and spin that time.
Lizotte back in. Central Valley brings biases. Cup works the dribble. Now will penetrate, had a second gear, gets that shot blocked.
Great job by Sawyer to come over defensive help.
Yeah, we talk about the big 2 inside. Sawyer's been pretty strong on defense in this game. Now from the baseline, heartbreak in and out.
Well, he missed it, but see, that's what he did. Nice cut, caught the ball, jump stop, didn't charge, got the shot off.
And a 5-second call. So the defenses continue to rule.
You know, when you're the kid with the ball, and not to be critical, but you got to have that little clock in your head. You got to know the thing's timing down. You got to try to go by the defender instead of piddling around waiting for somebody to come to the ball.
Seconds on the shot clock, and nothing but net that time for Rico. Again, had the rough first half. Started out 1 for 8. That might be a good starter for him in the second.
He'll take that shot.
2-point lead for the Bears. Answer on the baseline.
Nice job by Trimble, little teardrop.
Trimble and Luckett. Now, Trimble and Luckett between them are having a pretty good game. They've combined for 12 points, 5 of 17, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Into the backcourt. That'll be a Davis ball. Pirate Nation juicing it up. What is the record of Pirates in the Tacoma Valley? Were there Pirates there once?
I don't. Did they adopt Mike Leach?
Yeah, could be. Well, who was that? I was over in Spokane. Same thing, Adna. And there's Allen from the outside. All right, he can make that shot.
Holy cow!
I'll give him that.
But see, he didn't look good shooting the ball before, and that looked very good shooting the basketball. So I don't know what that's all about. Confidence. Catch it, look at it, knock it down.
Davis by 3, and that's something that Eli Morris talks about. You play with confidence. You can take the shot in his system. Here's the little man, freshman, talking about confidence, driving all the way to the hoop. Cup follows up, and he's fouled.
And there again, I don't know if we got a replay of this, but another great example of the fact the ball is shot, and 3 guys try to rebound the ball that comes out long, but they don't cut anybody off the board for CV. So the ball comes off long, cups the guy there, the recipient. Now he gets fouled, going to the line for 2.
Subs coming both ways. Free throws for Cup, who's 2 for 2. So the third quarter has been all Davis. Second free throw coming. Iharo comes back in for Davis.
You know what they call this, don't you, Bob? It's a grinder.
It is.
You know, this is a
well,
whoever has the last possession.
And I'll tell you, and if you're Valley right now, you don't want to get behind 3-4 possessions.
No.
You're sort of letting this quarter slip away.
All of a sudden,
you can't come back.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, CV's taking a lot of 3-point attempts. In the first half, they only 1 for 7, 14% from 3.
Davis is ahead by 4. Extending that lead could be pretty big right now. Here we go. Another body on. Oh, and a little tangle at the end of that. I don't think Lockett appreciated the contact from Sawyer.
Well, I don't think there's a problem, but I'm looking at right there, and those are the ones that happen, and the coach goes, why? You know, we don't foul the jump shooter.
Right.
We contest the shot. We make him shoot the ball over our hand. Please do not foul.
Look at the line. Now he's 2 for 2. A good start for him, for someone who's been struggling so much. And 3 for 3.
He was just setting everybody up until they got into the championship.
It's like, go ahead, foul him. Yeah, we'll foul him.
Yeah.
Coach Sloan keeping the Central Valley bench churning. You know, you can be tired tomorrow. You don't have to play tomorrow.
Boy, where have I heard that one?
And then you would say, Dad.
No.
So a 5-point game. Final minute of the third quarter. Bears could really use one here. Nice dish.
Not a bad look. Had his feet set. Maybe a little rushed on the delivery.
Dax hit from the outside. Yarman, good awareness to find him at least. Rio coming at you. Freshman shoots off the mark. So now CV in the final 30.
You can't hold the ball when you get the rebound. You got to get the ball up and get it to somebody who can actually handle a basketball, and you have numbers, so you have a greater chance to score.
We talked about a 2-3 possession lead. Becomes more and more formidable. And Davis is going to have that. Going the other way.
Ooh.
Shot just misses after the takeaway by Trimble. So the Pirates have their biggest lead of the game. It's only 5, but in a game like this, that's big. 8 minutes to go in Washington's 4A championship game. AC Davis 31, Central Valley 26. You're watching the WIAA Network.
My friends and I were driving to the Salt Lake Airport to fly to a music teachers conference when our tires started going flat. We called the Les Schwab in Ogden, Utah, and they said,
Come on in.
They were so fast, we didn't even eat the free popcorn.
There you go.
And we even made our flight. In a world where such great customer service is not always the case, it's nice to know there's Les Schwab. I'm Bonnie Lamborn, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Fourth quarter begins, and Davis 8 minutes away from their first state championship in basketball since the undefeated team of 1965. Their first championship in any sport since 1972.
Is that a drought? Would you consider that
That's
a drought?
a drought. And again, they've been successful in sports.
Oh, always.
How many years in the Big Nine? I mean, that's a death march in every sport all season.
Hey, Chicago Cubs would have liked to have won in the 70s.
Yeah. The last second place finish in any sport came in the early 2000s. Both the boys and girls in track had second place finishes. Now a takeaway from the Bears. The ball coming right to us.
But there again, the quickness in the hands of Davis knocks the ball out of bounds, although CV retains possession.
Central Valley 12 of 34 shooting, 2 of 11 at the line. Davis 10 of 39, 4 of 15. Free throw shooting a big difference, and it's Davis with the edge. 7 of 9 to just 2. Oh, I take that back. Central Valley has not shot a free throw in this game.
Exactly.
None. Rebounding 27-25 in favor of Davis. And the turnover goes for naught. Davis has it back. Central Valley has not converted turnovers in this game.
No.
Trimble take it over.
You cannot let him get into the middle of the paint, or if he gets past you, somebody's got to step up and take a charge.
Now it's been a couple of minutes since Central Valley scored. It was Rico's three-pointer that gave them the 26-24 lead.
They got a chance. They got a chance to go to the free throw line.
And it's up to Adam Chamberlain.
You know, one thing, and a lot of coaches subscribe to, when you come off the bench as a reserve, your job is to go in there and maintain, not to try to be the hero. And sometimes that's tough to do. You know, people say, hey, I'm open, you know, I'm going to shoot this shot. And a lot of times the reason they're open is because they haven't been, you know, knocking shots down. So you got to be smart about it. So they're 1 for 1.
And that was Chamberlain's only his second free throw of the tournament. So the lead is 6. Trimbles taking control of his team in the second half. Both distributing and scoring, playing defense. There's Allen. He's got a little confidence from the outside. Put up to Trimble to the corner. Shot block. Trimble gets it back.
Oh, they reset the 35-second clock, and they shouldn't have.
Cup misses.
They reset it. Can't do that.
So no harm done for CV. Well, you really start counting the possessions now.
Oh, every time, yeah.
It's like, was this a wash? Did we get it back after the turnover?
Well, you know, in other broadcasts we've talked about this. You know, I say if you're going to play it by quarters, you got to try to win every quarter. So it's been Davis, then CV, then it was Davis. CV's got to come back and win this quarter if they're going to have any chance.
From the corner, Navarro hasn't had much room to work. Now he does penetrate to get out of the paint. Trimble, fall away. No. Cup fights for it. Back up and in. And
Great
one.
job.
The quarterback connects.
I didn't mean to step on you, but that was a great job. That's just a human effort. You know, rebounding is a want-to. Defense is a want-to. He wanted the ball, not only to get it with 2 hands, he went up strong, finished. Now he's got a chance for the bonus.
And he was deep, too. He didn't exactly have position on that.
He was underneath the backboard, actually.
Come back out for it. Here it is. You know, Navarro almost got stuck out in the corner. And here it comes.
No, he keeps
he's
it
on
alive.
balance. Look at that.
Well, he keeps it alive with a tip, gets
great.
it, then goes up strong.
That's even better of a second time. The free throw is no good, but the lead is now 8. Crescent Valley's gone almost 6 minutes without a basket. It's an 11-1 run. Rick Sloan may have just noticed that. And calls the timeout. 5:39 to go, and Davis leads by 8. So, coach of Central Valley, what button do you push now?
Well, you got to do something. Here's what I say. They run the one play where they hit the wing, cut through to the corner, cut through, and then the post comes out and sets a pick and roll on the baseline man with the ball, and then he opens up what they call a pick and pop. So you got to drive the ball to the paint and try to look for the shot, or if they come to help on you, dump the ball to the man on the baseline. The thing is, the man on the baseline has got to shoot the little 10-foot shot and not try to take it to the defense. You got to shoot it when you're open.
Numbers in the game now, not a lot of offense. Talked about Trimble and Luckett. They've now combined for 15 points, 9 rebounds. Allen now has 11 rebounds for Davis. Central Valley led 6 apiece points for Sawyer and DeArmond, who's just 3 for 6. Brommer has not scored at all. DeArmond has 8 rebounds.
Well, a couple things. Levante Allen does all the dirty work, and he's knocked down that 3. Been impressed with Lozati, the little freshman. And Cup is kind of an unknown, maybe what you call the glue guy. You know, he does whatever it needs to be taken. He's not worried about himself. He's concerned, let's win the ball game.
Good penetration, and there's a basket. Bonner, big time.
Good job that time by Chamberlain to recognize the defender came up to help. Nice bounce pass to the left hand. And the biggest thing is that Anthony Brommer finished finally, made the basket.
That long stretch that a field goal lands, and now it's a 6-point game.
Boy,
Luckett.
You're not going to see Luckett shoot an air ball from 6 feet very often. Here's a great opportunity. Okay, here's CD right now. Here's the penetration. Now watch Allen. He comes up the floor, leaves his man. You never help up the floor. That's why, right there.
Back to live action. 5 minutes to go. Shot clock running out.
Great job by DeArmond that time by jumping at the ball, really flying at the ball.
Now, Trimble and Luckett have been half the offense. They've taken 22 of the Pirates' 46 shots. Fouled the other end.
I don't know about you, Bob, but I get a sense of the 2 things. Number one, that Davis feels very comfortable the way they're playing, and that CV is starting to get that little frenzy, that little panic there, you know. 4:39, there's a lot of time left.
These possessions are pretty. I know what you're saying, though. You know, it's like you start taking every 3 you see, or you drive every time.
I don't think you can pass up open looks as long as they're within the context of the offense, but you can't be just relying on a 3-point shot.
Oh, you sell it. That's very NBA. Context of the offense.
Well, you mean they take bad shots?
Oh, I've never heard that line by an NBA coach.
Now, see, Allen takes the 3, and that wasn't a bad shot. But you got to make sure when you shoot that ball that you got board coverage, you got a chance to get an offensive board.
You know how many times I've heard Nate McMillan say lines like that? Context of the off. Or no, you know that? That's a Hubie Brown. That's totally Hubie.
Thank you. I think. But you're right. You know, you send him down and say, son, have you ever looked up the definition of shot selection in the dictionary?
4 minutes to go. And the Pirate fans behind us are a little anxious in this slow-paced game, playing with the lead. But you're right, I think Davis holds all the cards right now.
Well, if you were...
Okay, DeArmond decides to go inside and does draw the foul.
If you were a Pirate fan, would this game be rated R?
Oh.
I had to get that one in.
So I still want to know where the Pirates connection is in the action. The other one is Adna. You know, Adna's over at the beach tournament. I didn't know there were Pirates around Centralia anywhere.
I have no idea. That's a good question.
Now, do you know what A.C. Davis stands for?
Yeah, A.C. Davis was the principal.
Angus Charles Davis. Beloved early principal.
I think we should have A.C. Davis play R.A. Long. Now, you know who R.A. Long was? The founder of Longview.
There you go.
Robert A. Long.
Sorry. Mutual friend Bill Backham is down there at Mark Morris, mayor of Longview. Good pass there, and Luckett takes the easy road back to 7.
Well, you know what happened? He penetrates, somebody comes to help, and Luckett goes right to the basket. Wide open.
Good answer at the other end. Three-pointer, and a guy you want, that Rico, who again started 1 of 7, and now is 2 of 4 in the second half.
I think they just gave him a 2. I thought I saw the official.
It is, yeah, and it's 32, so two-pointer makes it a 5-point game.
Let's see. You see Rick Sloan there, and what he's saying is, guys, every time down, we got to get a stop, and then we got to come down. We got to get a good shot. I mean, there's no magic. There's no magic to this game right now. We got to get good looks at the basket every time down, and we got to stop them and make sure they don't get second chance shots. And that's what's hurt CV a lot, is because Davis has climbed all over the offensive glass.
Look at Luckett. He's got 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 of 10 from the field. Been good at the line, 3 out of 4. So fouling him down the stretch is not a good answer. CV's not quite to that point yet. Trimble handled the ball a lot here in the second half. Hang in the air, in and out. Gets his own rebound, and then a big collision as Brahmer hits the floor.
Well, the problem was everybody looked at the ball instead of when the ball is shot, you need to go find a man and get a body on him. You cannot allow the offensive man to go back and get his own rebound. You know, everybody complains about Tony Rote for the U not being a good shooter, which he's not. But you know what? He may miss the shot, but he'll get his own rebound right away because everybody stands and watches.
Yeah, boy, if you did a shot chart on him, combining his first shot and then what he gets on the offensive boards and his putbacks.
Yeah.
Now that second chance stuff will take you a long way.
That's something that happens quite frequently at this level, is that too much dribbling around the perimeter and the post man gets caught standing and watching, and they get called for 3 seconds. That kills you right now with 2:46 to go. Didn't even get a look.
Now Central Valley goes into a press. Trinidad breaks it to the corner. Allen misses. Out of bounds to Mike Colbrese.
Okay, but here's the deal. Right now you're playing time and score. You don't need that shot. I don't care how good a shooter you are right then. Bring it back out, use the clock, get the ball inbounds.
From the baseline, and one. Another big one late in the game for Devontae Luckett.
Well, the thing about Luckett and Trimble is they both can finish around the basket in traffic, and he just did that. Got a great chance for that three-point play. CV's got to get the ball up. They've got to get something going. They got to hit some shots. Now is the time to start looking for the 3, but not an inadvertent 3. It's got to be a good 3.
And look at Luckett at the line. 4 of 5. It's a 10-point game with 2.5 to go.
Cup doing a great job on the ball.
Good quick attack by DeArmond.
DeArmond is not going to let him go down easy, I'll tell you that.
CV will press. Again, Davis across the timeline. Good ball movement. And a good follow-up by Allen.
Maybe not the best shot selection. They heard the shot, but Allen's right there to clean up everything. Doing a great job on the boards. He's got, I don't know how many, a dozen?
That would be 13.
13. Well, that would be a Baker's dozen.
So Luckett now at 12, Trimble 10, 13 boards for Allen. 9 points for DeArmond, who's only taken 7 shots. And a timeout taken.
Eli says, we need to talk it over. I want you to know exactly what I want you to do on both ends of the floor. You know, we're trying to win the game now, just not make it interesting.
And, you know, I asked him about winning the championship himself. He didn't seem very excited about that. He was more excited for his kids.
Well, you know what?
Again, you coach long enough.
I think that's the thing. When people tell me, you know, I really appreciate what you've done for my son or daughter, I go, I didn't do anything. All I did was I gave them the tools, and they built the house. There's the trophy. But, you know, you got to give the kids the credit because of all, and sure, you sweat and toil as the coach, and you're kind of the architect, but those kids got to go out and they've got to do what you want them to do, and sometimes it comes out right, and sometimes it doesn't come out right. But for both of these teams, it came out right 22 times up to this point.
And again, you know, the inevitable discussion broke out as the tournament started, you know, East Side versus West Side, and you know, I think from what we saw of 4A basketball that we covered all year, we knew that 4A was going to be a crapshoot. And, you know, we saw teams like Olympia that didn't even make it this far, but had beaten Bellarmine and were clearly worthy. And they were a ensemble. They didn't have these superstars.
No question.
So, I mean, this was open, but these are the two teams, I think, with the most depth that play their way and also can make adjustments in the game.
Well, the other one that we talked about, because we had them a couple of times and seen what they've done, very similar to these teams, was Union.
Yes.
I mean, Union could have been in this game, and it would you know, you could insert them for either one of these teams, and it's still been a great game.
Well, and Union won the third place game, beat Bellarmine 62-51. Fine fourth quarter. Tell you what, that's a program to keep an eye on. Mako Hamilton is got something going down in Clark County.
I love the way they play. I'll tell you what, you better not relax when you play them, because even though you may get the ball over their head on their press, they come back and they still, you know, haunt you and just after you, relentless.
All right, here's the pressure after the free throws by DeArmond. And, you know, that says a lot about Central Valley, because Central Valley really frustrated Union in the semi.
Yes, they did.
That press-breaking pass goes awry, and the Bears get it right back.
Well, two things. You're bringing the ball up the sideline. Get the ball in the middle of the floor where you got both sides to throw the ball, and then why throw the ball into the corner where you can get a trap? But then CV comes back and turns it right back over, so Cup redeems himself.
Now that's a number they're going to look at. Central Valley, 14 turnovers. Oh, make that 15 now. The 10 for Davis. Minute 34 left, 8-point game, still time. Now you kind of need some threes, or at least you need to have the three in the arsenal.
Yeah, well, this is what you call quick hitter time. You put quick hitters in, you work on them all year, so that, well, okay, we need to get a quick shot up within the first 5 seconds. You know, get the ball up the floor, and you know, the one thing that Davis does, when the ball's thrown over their head, they get back and really do a good job of playing level the ball and contesting every shot.
There you see the situation, the foul situation, not notable right now. Nobody with more than 3 fouls. And that's all for Davis. Cup working with 3 right now. Navarro with 3. Navarro had a great start in this game. And Luckett playing with 3 fouls.
Great crowd. I just turned around. I mean, I've only seen it on the screen, but I mean, on the Davis side, holy cow, it's packed all the way up, and that's great to see.
All these people in black and orange. There's going to be some happiness in the Yakima tonight.
DeAndros would love it.
Well,
everybody goes, who next? DeAndros, and who did he play for?
It's, of course, the great Pumpkin, the legendary coach at Idaho and Oregon State. Another long pass to break pressure, and that one almost gets away. Saved inbounds.
Great save.
I like it.
by Luckett. You know, I was just going to say by the long pass is the fact that it was a great idea. The execution wasn't really good, but he saved him, and then now they're going to the line with a chance. He's got 2 more.
And it's been a good day at the free throw line for Luckett. 4 out of 5. Rick Sloan giving it to the officials a little bit here in the final minutes. And one more. No good. Second chance. No. DeArmond underneath. Looks for the open 3. Doesn't fall. Another chance. DeArmond will just pack it inside and score. You know, that was good vision trying to get the 3 off the rebound.
Well, he did a great job of getting the ball and getting it out to the shooters.
And we'll go down to the other end with 54 seconds left. And it's about time, Yakima.
Yeah, unless you're Eli Juarez sitting over there going, please, clock, run, run. You know, this is the time as a coach where your stomach gets all in the knots.
Allen out of the game. Davis goes small now, 1-on-1. Trimble misses the front end. 52 seconds. Still time. Only 2-possession game right now.
I'm just going to say, hit a couple threes.
Chamberlain will penetrate off the glass. Very nice.
They're not calling timeout. I don't know how many timeouts they have left, but they're doing a great job.
And a long pass to Clear. Luckett loses it, tips it to the open man, and Cup is clobbered going to the hoop by DeArmond.
Great job by getting the ball to Cup, but DeArmond got back and tried to prevent him. Hard foul, but not a dirty foul.
That is 2 times Luckett has had to make a big save on one of these long passes. And has done
well, that
so.
one was a sky ball. I mean, I thought they were going to signal for a fair catch.
So Cup will try to put it away. He's 3 of 5 at the line. Make it 4 of 6. That might do it. 32 seconds. Bears need the 3. They got to hang on to the ball.
There's Cup all over the ball.
And they take the timeout with 27 seconds.
There's always those intangible guys, you know, the guys that are the glue guys that stick together to get the loose balls, get the rebounds, you know, make the good pass, make the extra pass, you know, and just happy that we won the basketball game and I can contribute. Not worried about scoring the points or doing all those kinds of things.
The athletic director of Davis, Bob Stanley, wanted to pass along. Big thank you to the Tacoma Firemen who've been the hosts this week. One of the things they do at the tournament, if a team returns, you get to keep your host from a year ago, which is kind of nice because then you got people that know what you like, where you want to eat, and firemen treat them good here in the city of Destination.
Firemen are great. Firemen are great. My friends over there on the host and hostess from Central Valley, Colleen Barta and Tony Anderson, and John Seafried, who's an old Bear and a Cougar baseball legend. Johnny's sitting over there with Colleen, and they do a great job.
That is part of tournament week. And the hosts here in Tacoma have really warmed up to it since the tournament moved into the dome. 6-point lead for Davis. It is so close to ending that trophy drought, the big trophy drought. And I'm sure they're making room. But the Bears still have a shot.
Well, I don't know if they're watching this, but Lenny Allen and Ted Wireman played for me, and they were the Mutt and Jeff. Lenny Allen is the toughest 5'7.5" guy I've ever been around.
DeArmond misses at 20 seconds. Ball is out of bounds.
And the official just about took a
Tripped
stumble over the photographer. But you had Lenny Allen at 5'7.5", and you had Ted Wireman at 6'9" and about 230, and they were 26-0, and they were really good.
Central Valley's last title also back in the 60s. Nice basket off the inbound and a quick timeout.
And they've got that play at least twice. Now, if anything, you can switch the thing, and they haven't done that. He's been open off that cut at least twice, if not 3 times.
Well, 4-point game in 18 seconds. Here it is again.
Misdirection play. He looks one way, and they set the back screen, and his man rolls right off. See, that's a communication thing. It's not the kid who gets screened. It's the man who's screening him. You got to tell him, hey, back pick, and then we'll switch it.
You saw Sawyer just sort of casually looks over to the side. Oh, no, we're going to.
Yeah. Well, for all the young people listening, you know, the number one objective, I always say, what's the objective of an inbounds play like that? They go, well, I don't know, score. I said, no, get the ball in bounds. Get it in. Oh, yeah, that helps.
See how fast they foul. That didn't take long to wrap up Navarro. 1 of 1 at the line, 9 points for him.
Well, there's 2 schools of thought there. Number 1, move the ball so they can't foul you. And number 2, foul me because I'm going to put 2 more on the board. I prefer the latter, the former, rather than the latter, because I want to see the ball move.
And I think defensively, and I'm always big on this, foul now.
Oh,
don't wait for the good foul.
You always tell your guys,
you don't get the time back.
Overplay, we're going to go for the steal. We don't get it, we got to foul immediately. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you got 4 fouls or whatever it is.
Those of you who hear us during the regular season, I'm sure, are tired of that song. But I'm amazed how many teams don't do that.
No. Well, then there's the old, the question: do we foul at the end of the game, put them on the line because we got, you know, so before they get into a foul shot or a shot, you know. Because I've lost a few games like that. I mean, people have literally thrown the ball. I mean, literally thrown the ball in the basket from 40, 50 feet. And, you know, then you go, why didn't I have a foul?
Well, we saw Chapman of Union throwing a 50-footer last night at the end of the summer. Didn't count, but you think about it, that's like, wow, he swished it, thrown it sideways. There have been 2 tremendous plays here in the tournament. That basket, and then the big kid from Kamayakan throwing that dunk down the first night that moved the backboard. Look at these guys battling underneath.
Well, Luckett went up and ripped the ball down with 2 hands. Luckily, or unluckily for him, he was off balance. So, jump ball, CB retains possession. If they don't score right now, this is in the books.
10 seconds. Quick 3. No. Rebound. Davis. Timeout, Davis. They get it with 5 seconds left. That should do it.
There's the epitome of the game, though. 5 guys on the floor after the ball. And as a coach, I appreciate that. I appreciate the effort. Win or lose, you know, and as a coach, Rick Sloan, nobody wants to lose the game, particularly a state championship game. But if your guys fight, you know, and play their hearts out, they can hold their heads up and say, hey, we gave it everything they had. Today, they were the better team.
And I think it tells you about both these teams, too, how they play. And again, they deserve to be here. And I'll admit it, all year, you know, we looked at the polls every week. It's like, Davis, and who are they playing? You know, we're looking at Boffel and Garfield and Bellerman. It's like, no, Davis, they can't be number 1. Now you see why.
Yeah.
I'll say it right now. They were disregarded. And Central Valley, you know, that's the other thing. There's so much basketball DNA in Spokane right now. And I was talking with Garrett Sawyer about this last night. He said, oh, you know, you grew up like this. And I asked him, I said, did you want to be John Stockton? I don't know, nowadays every young man wanted to be John Stockton.
I hope, did he know who John Stockton was?
No, he did, actually.
Good.
You know,
okay.
we're old enough. We remember when John Stockton was young. You watched it. I first covered him when he was at Gonzaga. When, of course, Gonzaga wasn't a big deal.
And I knew about him when he was
in high school. You knew him way back.
And I tried to get it when I was at the Sonics, get us to draft him. And I think we made a big mistake by not.
Cup gets an inbounds. They'll put him on the line. Sawyer, for the record, by the way, his favorite player, Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison.
Kind of likes that free-spirited Adam
Well,
Morrison Adam Morrison was a great college basketball.
Yeah, you know, but see, when you're not real strong and you've got, is it diabetes?
Yes.
Diabetic?
Yeah.
So, but you know, I think since Gonzaga has had the success the last dozen years that they've had, I think it's really enhanced high school basketball. They get a lot of teams, particularly from Eastern Washington, from the state, to the basketball camps. Girls as well as men, done a great job. So, you know, I think that really tends to help. And, you know, you've got smaller communities in Eastern Washington, too, and they kind of want to, you know, prove the fact that, hey, we can play with anybody.
Well, and for that matter, I mean, Yakima. What sport do you associate with Yakima? Basketball.
Yeah.
Free throw's no good, but time is going to run out, and the Davis Pirates have ended the drought. They're taking the booty back to the Valley. For the first time since 1965, Davis is Washington's 4A basketball champion, the first championship in any sport since 1972, and the first thing they do is salute their fans. Final score, Davis 48, Central Valley 42. Now Eli flashes a little smile after taking his team to 23 wins and the state title. We're gonna have the trophy presentation coming up and hopefully visit with some of these young men, like the guy up on the table there, David Trimble. We were talking about, you know, picking up most valuable player. That's just something we do informally, but I think there were a lot of players, and I think Trimble, with his consistent game,
yeah, he is
really the guy. If you had to pick one guy, and as soon as the trophy presentation is complete, we hope to speak with him.
Well, you know, when you overcome 20% shooting in the first half, you know, and you can win a state championship, you've done something right.
And they did it the hard way. You know, they had a really scrap in the semi.
Well, 30 points they scored, 30 of their 48 points in the second half. So, you know, 13 in the third, 17 in the fourth. Big second half.
And the black and orange party is on. Right now, the trophies about to be presented. The second place trophy being presented right now to a very good basketball team, 22-4. The final record for the Central Valley Bears. They're receiving their second place trophy, and congratulations to Rick Sloan. He has 7 seniors on this team. They're saluting their fans on the other side. And of course, they say goodbye to the seniors, both DeArmond and Brommer. Nimbria we saw play off the bench. Sawyer, Dak, hit a couple of big baskets off the bench. Phil Terrell and Eli Wicking.
You know, right now, those seniors, they just, that's tough to go out there and accept that second place trophy. I mean, well deserved. They've had a great year, but they wanted the number one.
And now it is time to present the state championship trophy. The orange and black bringing it back. Here it is. You haven't seen this trophy in the Valley for a while, and now you get to enjoy it. The 2012 Washington 4A basketball champions, the Pirates of A.C. Davis. And the picture you'll probably keep in your house the rest of your life.
Oh, exactly. It's Hoosiers.
And I always like looking at these. You know, you go to any school or anybody, I'm sure you've got your share in the Harshman family home. It's always right after a game, so there's always a little bit of sweat, a little hair out of place. and a smile that is very genuine. And there's that trophy. And there's the trophy being carried by Navarro.
And all the other guys are saying, hey, don't drop it.
Yeah, really. Raymond Navarro getting his kit. And joining us right now, Devontae Luckett coming over to step in. Well, after last night, I don't think you guys could have any more excitement, and yet today, you really set the tone, especially in the second half.
Game, and I'll give them their props. They are a very good team, and it just came to the matter of the end of the game. Who's ready?
And it's been somebody different for you every night. I mean, you've had a great tournament, and tonight, really, it was your teammate Trimble who kind of took charge handling the ball in the second half, and you just kind of picked your moments, didn't you?
Oh yeah, like it's not a one-man team. You can carry the team, but it's not a one-man team. We are a team.
It's been a 4-year march for Davis to get here, advancing, in your league to the regions, getting to the tournament last year, getting that taste. How much did you feel like this could be your year?
Honestly, I felt like we deserved it, but then again, we have to work for it.
And of course, all us suckers on the west side all year looking at Davis, number one. Everyone's like, now what are they doing that makes them number one? Did you know anything about teams over here who you might face?
Honestly, I didn't. Only team I really knew about was Gonzaga Prep, because they had beaten us before and we played them. That was about it.
So Bothell, Garfield, didn't care.
Oh, and Garfield.
Yeah,
Garfield. I left them out, yeah.
Well, you guys, the thing that impressed me is you guys are extremely focused. I remember when your coach played high school basketball. That's how long I've been around. But you guys just kind of continue to come at people in waves. You do, your point guard, the little guy, did a great job of getting you guys the ball. But also on the boards, as you go once, twice, until you can get that ball. It's not how big you are, it's how big you play. That's a compliment to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, we are a small team.
And finally, just for your town, it's been so long for your school winning any championship, but I'm sure you got Ike fans that have been rooting for you. Yeah. How great is this for your community and the city to take home this title?
Yeah, like I said before, it finally puts Yakima on the map with sports. There's not just talent on this side of the mountains.
All right, well, go enjoy it. I know you got some nets to cut down. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's our state champion from the Davis Pirates, Devontae Luckett, and now the best part of the tournament. Okay, after holding the trophy up, the cutting down of the nets. And Dave Harshman, we expected a close for a tournament this year, and that's exactly what we got.
We got one, and I'm just looking here, and this tells you, statistically, sometimes statistics don't help you, but they shot 28% and won the state championship because they took 7 more shots. They controlled the boards. They had 17 offensive rebounds out of their 37.
And they won the takeaway battle.
Exactly. They got 8 steals. They did a great job, and they hit their free throws. They shot 22 free throws to Central Valley 7. So that, to me, that's the outcome of the ball game. But it just kept coming at you.
That'll do it from the Tacoma Dome. Your final score, AC Davis 48, Central Valley 42. Come on back to us at WIAA Network. Click over to our next window. Coming up just after 5 o'clock Pacific time, live coverage of the girls 4A championship. For Dave Harshman, I'm Bob McCamey, and thanks for joining us. You've been watching the 2012 WIAA Dairy Farmers of Washington Les Schwab Tires Boys Basketball Championships on the WIAA Network. So long for now.